Hello, everyone. And if you're watching this, the season of All Stars has ended. Woo! And it was a really great season. And I'm going to say that to manifest it from the past. Um, I'm Distortion Survivor Prod on Zoom, aka Seb. And today we have our beautiful actor show with us. You might recognize them as the winners of season 5 and season 8 of Distortion, LJ and B. And like like timeline, we're casting these people. We already know how they've done, and so we wanted to get some fresh perspective, especially from some of them. You might have played with some of these people in your season or outside or interacted with them, and they've seen the meet me's. And so, uh, LJB, are you ready?
I am ready to be here with the only other winner who feels good enough about their game that they have nothing to fucking prove. I'm ready.
The undisputed. Okay, honestly, I'm excited. I don't know most of these people's games. I've only played with a very small portion of the cast, but I loved all the Meet Me videos. I love what people are giving. Like, it's so hard to even pick favorites. It's definitely stacked, and I'm excited to see what everybody brings to the table.
All right, so the way this is gonna work, I'm gonna read the player. I'm gonna say what season and their placement, and then I'll give like a little blurb on how they did the last time they played. And then you guys have seen the meet me's, and you guys can voice your opinions. I know LJ has somewhere to be in the next 50 minutes, so we're gonna make this not snappy, but not long. So, and Jackie, did you have something to say?
No.
Oh, Slay. All right. Well, start off alphabetically. First up, we have Al. Them. They played last season. They got fifth place, and they were the player of the season. Al's game started off a little rough, but they were definitely able to find their placement and find themselves in a really good spot going into the merge. And up until final six, they were probably in one of the best spots. But unfortunately, they made a bad move in voting out Julia, and Al went right after. So I'm excited to have Al back. But how do you two be? You played with Al in Distortion. LG, you played with Al not in Distortion. So
Yeah, the funny thing about Al is like, yes, we played Distortion, but I didn't play with them. So I actually have no idea how they played this game, which I think the sentiments were reciprocated at Final Tribal Council. They had no idea about my game as well. Yeah, Al is an interesting character. I think that I don't know, with this cast, I feel like there's a lot of maybe bigger personalities that maybe won't understand Al and like their sense of humor, and but I don't know. I mean,
Nope.
I don't see Al winning this game. I think that they will win some challenges here and there. They are a competitive threat for sure. Beasting a lot of challenges and things like that, always placing high or even winning sometimes. But do I see them having the social capital in this game of people that are so, charming and kind of, got the Riz? No, I don't. I don't.
Yeah. So Al is bestie. I'm just going to evaluate on the merits here. First off, the tribe division could not be more favorable to Al in what is still not a good overall draw for Al. If you switch Al and say GG right now, I think Al's absolutely fucked. As it stands right now, I think Al has a very good shot. One person who is going to be working with Al, almost guaranteed in my mind, is Lyndon, who I also love. Lyndon and Keaton are obviously a couple. Keaton has had great game experiences with Al as I have. I suspect there will be a Cam, Alex, Al, Linden thing going on that keeps Al safe in the pre-merge, swap dependent, all that kind of stuff. However, like B, I do think that Al will be someone who, once they make it to the merge, will be seen as having the ability to get power through immunity, which you can't do in this game. That actually helps Al a little, I would say, the lack, the inability to be an immunity threat, just because it doesn't really keep you all that safe. But I think Al will be seen as someone who can gain power, and people might not trust how they would use it. I see Al in 7th to 11th. That's my guess for them this game. They're so good at comps that if you cut them in the pre-merge, I hope everyone on that tribe goes back to back to back to back to back to fucking back. Al is also the one person I have only in the history of orgs made a move that was bad for my game because I liked them so much. So Al has that within them, and if they find the right people to do that with them, lightning can strike. But I think it's a tough road for Al. I agree with B on that.
All right. Next up is Alex. Alex is one of our few 3-time players in the cast. Alex played Heatwave, where they were
Great season.
They were on a not so winning starting tribe, and they were in a not so winning swap tribe. And Alex got blindsided due to other people recognizing that Alex could have a great social game in the future. And then in Timeline, kind of the same situation where Alex kind of got fucked over due to outside conditions out of his control, but he was able to really pick it up, especially going into the merge, despite not being in the main alliance that was kind of controlling the merge. He is still doing really well socially and strategically, to the point where at the live night they blindsided him. So I don't know if either of you have played with Alex or even know Alex much,
I was
but
I was on Heatwave and I prodded him, but okay.
did you interact with Alex during Heatwave?
No, I didn't.
No,
but
no.
I talked
Thank
to people who
you.
was there. Okay.
Oh,
Like,
yeah, LJ, you start because you start most of these because you know the people. So
okay, fair.
Okay.
I think we're starting with the two people who are the most fucked by the twist of this game in Alex and Al, and that Alex is a certified, genuine, grade A comp beast, and Alex does not have the opportunity to do that in this game. I know he's more than that, but I think this takes away a very big potential vector for his success. I also think if you want to see two storm clouds colliding, there's going to be a Mike Jones storm cloud and an Alex storm cloud, and one of those pressure fronts I think will eventually wipe out the other one at some point in time.
Let me interrupt because you're going off of information that we ended up changing. So for anyone who's watching, you've already experienced the twist. You've already experienced the merge twist, but LJ has a rough draft of what the twist is. So instead of no immunity, the players will vote for either immunity or a block a vote. So for instance, let's say LJ, you decided to play for the block a vote and you win. No one is immune. You would have the block a vote, but it's the same thing as if B chose immunity and B won, then B would be immune. There would be no blocked vote, and so on and so forth.
Whoever wins determines what the thing is, and with peace, love, and all of that, all of them are going to choose to compete for immunity, and whoever wins is going to get immunity every fucking round.
Not necessarily.
Are they choosing it?
But
Is the winner choosing their power
So they choose in the beginning of the round.
And they're all going to choose immunity. This is Heatwave. This is Heatwave. This is Heatwave 2.0.
That day.
I call bullshit because if you are within a majority or a conglomerate of people when you hit merge or going into jury, if you get enough people to vote that way, you stay within that selection.
Is
Yes,
it so?
immunity is great individually. No, I let you finish.
Is it the group who decides like what we're competing
No,
for, or does each individual person
each
decide and the winner
individual,
is what it gets? Okay.
everyone.
So there's not like two winners.
Sorry, Benji.
There's
Yeah,
not like there's not like
It's
a block of vote winner and the immunity winner. It's just
No,
like
there's one winner.
okay. Sorry.
yeah. Sorry, I'll just call my shot right now, like I did in Heat Wave. This is Heat Wave. It's going to be fucking immunity every time, and I love it. Okay, this is actually not that bad for Alex. I retract all previous whatevers. Great for Alex. I actually now think he has a much better shot of winning, and I'm probably going to draft him now because of this. Love that for him. I think he's got like a decent starting position. I think he has enough people who like know of him and don't have bad experiences with him or respect him, but also there's bigger fish to fry in this game. So I'm now an Alex stan. That just happened.
Can I ask what were his placements in the last two games? Because two-time loser is kind of
Couldn't be us. Like 14th and
Can't relate.
14th and 10th or 14th and 9th.
What happened? Oh,
Jackie is also a two-time loser. Yeah. Stairs and two-time loser. Seb, was I right on that 14th
No,
and 10th?
but what are his placements?
14th and 10th or 14th and 9th, I'm pretty sure.
14 and 8.
Why are we getting like
14 and 8th, close enough.
Okay, I like Alex. I think he was somebody that I'm actually considering drafting as well. Love the brows. I think he's like smart. I can see like the effort that he's putting through in this little challenge that's going on right now. And you guys have all been saying how he's a comp beast and stuff like that. Again, like with 5 winners in the game, I do see people maybe wanting to team up with him and keep him around for safety, or maybe to take out some of those bigger threats later on in the game. And if he can stick around long enough, then he can take people out to the end, comp out, and let's see, and let's get it. I'm pulling for you, Alex. I like you. I like what you got going on, and hopefully you aren't a 3-time loser.
All right, next up is Brandon. He played season 5, got 6th. He got idled out.
Yes, he did. It's really nice when you control every idol and advantage in the game. It really helps. Brandon is like one of the sweetest, nicest people. He's also sharp as hell. He's also good at comps. He also has the singing voice of an absolute, oh my God, like next level. If he just sings to these people, he's set. In our season, during Touchy Subjects, Brandon was voted the one most likely to be invited back to All Stars. I didn't at that time, I didn't know why. I didn't think he had that great a footing in the game. I think it's just everyone respects the full package, what he has and what he can always bring to a game. I have huge hopes for him. Brandon is winner pick for me. I'm not even going to reevaluate in light about Brandon's winner pick. I think it's the right mix for this game, and not a lot of I can only think of a couple people who might be looking at him side eye to start the game. Just I think he's got kind of like mini Alex in that I think he has everything and is a little less threatening and can maybe be like a little more social or just has fewer enemies that will be huge landmines for him in this game. I am super duper high on Brandon with an A here.
Yeah, obviously we hung out with Brandon, love Brandon down. He's so talented in so many ways. Yeah, I think he's definitely got the social game down. He's got a little brain on him. And like he said in his video, he's been hitting the gym. So I'm hoping that, he'll be able to do some of these endurance comps and things like that. Even though I don't really know if we had too many of those. I think we only had one in my season. But anyway.
Pressure cooker, paperweight.
Yeah, it was like some hero challenge or something on my season, which is good because I'm fat, so I wasn't winning that anyway. But yes, love Brandon down. He's also gonna be in my draft. I think he's got a bag of tricks, the way that he did in this comp. If this is indicative of what he can bring to the table, I think yeah, you need somebody who's gonna think out of the box, who's going to be somebody that everybody can count on and come through clutch. And that's Brandon right now. That's what he's giving. So yes, love Brandon. Could see him winning this game. I'm hoping that he makes it farther than sixth, I believe was his placement.
All right, next up is Cam. In World's End, he had a very tight duo with Karen. Unfortunately, that fucked him. After blindsiding someone who was also on the cast.
He fucked himself.
No. So basically, Cam got voted out in the live night, and then he ended up winning timeline.
Cam just correct me if I'm wrong. Is Cam someone who had a safety without power and did not use it when they could have taken themselves off the block for Billy's live night? Just to be clear.
Yeah,
I think that is what. Yeah. So like Cam fucked himself. Let's not beat around the bush. Just have to get that out there. Cam's a beauty. Fellow Canadian, recent winner, has a lot of people in this game. Ooh, I actually think that. Sorry, Twain. Right. B, take over for a little. B, take over.
Okay. Are we allowed to talk about what's going on in the game right now, or what?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so Cam is running on fumes already, and this is night one. He is over it, OVA, over it in this cast. I don't know if he got like tribe fucked or what, but he is not feeling it. I'm hoping that he can get his head in the game. Him being a recent winner, I do kind of like feel like that's going to put a target on his back. And, I know from when we met, he said he can be a little shisty sometimes, but I don't know how many shysters there are in this game. So he could either blend in with the rest of them, or he's going to be, the one making a mess and causing chaos. Yeah, I mean, I love Cam. I think he's great personally. Do I see him winning this game? I do not. I just don't think I don't think he has it in him. I think he's like over it already. His patience is so thin.
I will say that is how Cam is. So what happens usually
Oscar, the Grouch.
What happens usually is he will complain about the people on his tribe, and he'll say, I'm gonna be messy, I'm gonna troll. He literally just says that just to say that, and that's not how he truly will play the game. He'll actually that's just how I was just giving a little insight, but that's just he's
just dramatic.
He'll complain.
Okay. That's good. I'm just going off what I'm seeing. It's hard for me because I haven't watched them play. So, but yeah, okay.
That being said, I think there's like it's easy for us to say now because we know who won there's 4 people who are in the running to be first boot. Cam's one of them, I think, and he's not the least likely one of that group. Cam has like right now, if I'm if Cam and Alex aren't like really good and don't hit it off, Cam's life's gonna be very short lived. I think Cam is very reliant on Alex to have a kind of good run in this early game. I personally, how I would be doing this if I were, someone playing this game and a non-winner, which I don't know what that feels like in Distortion, I would be taking at least 3 winners to the merge to eliminate afterwards. So Cam might be one of those people who does it, but I think like people are crazy if they let winners get far, and I think Cam is late pre-merge, early merge type of fodder here. Sadly for him, because I like him, think he's a really good, fun player, and I think his time on the Terra game was amazing.
So let me ask you, like, okay, you were saying like if you were playing, you would go to the end with 3 winners, right? Like, are you gonna take the winners that everybody, or not the end, but like at least merge or whatever? Like,
Yeah.
are you taking the people that people like, or are you taking somebody like Cam who already has a target on his back week 1?
Yeah, I want to take the targets, and I want to take the targets who also like have a little bit of comp prowess to them. So that's going to exclude certain people. Like Rachel is someone skipping ahead who I think like needs to be taken to the merge so that she can be taken out after the merge, because she is that huge of an amazing target. That's like that would be my easiest example of that. But yeah, no, that's kind of how I'm thinking about it.
Love
Next
you,
victim.
Cam.
Next victim.
Next up is Chris O. Chris O played last season. Very strategic. But some, and by some I mean everyone who made the merge, would consider him a villain. And so I'm like very excited to see how Chris O does during this season.
Well, I'll start this one because that's
Oh,
my
for fucking sure. For fucking sure.
yeah, that's my little baby orc brother. I love Chris. I think you know what? Chris is like very, very strategic. Sometimes a little bit too strategic, where he'll like strategize himself into like I don't know, a hamster wheel and just keep going around and around and around. Like it's just like insane. But he is a good player. I do think he's a good player. I think that, he played a lot of the game, maybe with some kind of like maybe a little bit delusional um with his kind of position in the game, but at the same time, like, he was confident, and that like and he kind of like faked it till he made it. Like, I do think he played an uphill battle. I mean, people were throwing his name out since the beginning. I mean, I even voted for him pre-merge and tried to get him out and stuff like that. So yeah, I do think he has the ability to get himself out of sticky situations, cutting deals, knowing who to talk to, knowing whose votes to get. And I don't think that in this game, where there are so many like big personality people, I feel like he might not be seen as a threat. And like that maybe will work to his advantage a little bit. If he can link up with the right people and calm down a bit, then I think he has a good shot at making it to the end, or at least very far. Yeah, I'm pulling for him. I'm always gonna, back my bro. So yeah, go Chris.
Yeah, Chris has proven himself to be immensely, crazily valuable to his tribe already. Chris just did what I said everyone, what I have tried and failed to do at the first challenge, and did it perfectly. In terms of like being able to, not brute force, but get your way around letters of the past. I think that has like raised his social standing in the pre-merge for the tribe without necessarily like being that long term of a detriment. I think people already like everyone in this game knows somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody who's going to tell you about somebody. People already know he's smart. People can be smart and not useful to you, and people can be smart and useful to you. And I think he's just proved the latter. I don't have a good like longevity read on Chris, but I think definite. I I think I see merge for sure. I don't know beyond that just because I think there's a lot of people in this community who are better connected.
I want to say one thing about him too is I think that like something that also is really good about Chris is that he is good in those one-on-ones. Like, you think he's gonna be this type of way. I mean, we're seeing it already with like Rachel and stuff like that. You think he's gonna be like just, stuck up and all this stuff, but like once you talk to him, he's so sweet and like that's surprising and it's almost like disarming in a way. So yeah, I think if he just like puts in the effort and the time with people to connect, then he can go far.
All right, next up is Crispy. Crispy played Andromeda. He was kinda in an interesting spot going into the merge, with the second vote of the merge kind of thrusting him down. But Crispy was able to put himself in a good alliance to get himself far. And it took a live night, and it took the second vote of 3 in a live night to get him out.
I want to ask a
Chris-
question. Okay, so the experts on this, can y'all give me a breakdown like who's fucking with who from previous games, who don't fuck with who? That's gonna provide a lot of context that I'm practicing. Just give me like a quick little cliff notes about it.
Crispy has either good relationships or good easy ins with potentially with Rachel. I would say a lot of Crispy's ins are like maybe on the other side. Like Trevor, I think is an easy in with Crispy. Mike Jones and Crispy and myself and Karen are in a chat that is doesn't talk now because this game is on, but it's a fairly active chat. Mike is on a tribe with Crispy to start. That is very, very fortunate for both of them. And I don't think it's as well clocked as some other relationships in this game. So I think that's good for Crispy. I think Crispy's biggest disadvantage in this game, and the only thing that will keep him from like doing amazingly, is that he's one of the most lovable humans ever. And I don't think you want to sit next to a Crispy or run the risk of sitting next to a Crispy anywhere near the end. I certainly, I wouldn't. I think it's like in most cases, I think it's a guaranteed loss.
Does he have ops in this game?
Ops?
Yeah, like people that don't fuck with him, or
I don't know if him and Jacob Adorno have the best relationship, but Mike Jones, I think, will kind of keep that together.
Okay, because my first impression from Crispy was from watching Seb win his thing that he just won. I forget what the game was called. I'm new to this. Sorry, y'all. But Crispy is being shady boots, though. I was living for it because I love players like that and like people like that in general. I could be a little shady myself, but yeah, like I was just seeing like, he was reading a little bit, he was being a little spicy. I like Crispy. I think I don't again like know what relationships he has or how he plays, but the personality factor is definitely there. But there's a lot of Crispies in this game, like personality wise, from what I can tell. I mean, there's a lot of, those sassy people in this game. So I do think that, and not to say he's like one dimensional or whatever, because I just don't know your game. My bad, Crispy. But yeah, I think that I don't know if they're gonna pick him over, say, like a Morgan or like a Nick or something like that. Like, which from the videos, like that's what it was giving. Yeah, but he seems cool, and I like Crispy, and I would love to play with him. Actually, he seems like my kind of dude. So, um, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what Crispy's giving. I'm gonna give him like he's on the win. Well, the ones I won. I'm gonna give him. I don't think he's gonna make the merge. I don't know. There's a lot of nerds on that side. I don't know if they're gonna be feeling Crispy.
Love you, Crispy.
Love you, Crispy.
Next up is Esteban. Esteban kind of fought the whole way through Camp Sunny Skies. And he ended up getting taken out at 10th.
Another one of we're going with two of the loveliest people in the world back to back. I worry most about Esteban with he's in the midst of a move. He's got getting resettled, and if activity levels are going to be a big thing early in this game, he's also maybe it just wasn't with me, but with other people, who knows? But when I played with Esteban, I was not the most active guy in the world that game, but he wasn't the most active person ever, even in that situation. So, I fear for Esteban a lot in this game, and I hope I'm wrong, but just on the setup of a lot of people who know each other, et cetera, et cetera. I think some of the best people for Esteban to have might be, on the other side. And yeah, I fear for him a lot early game.
I mean, people seem hyped that he's playing, which is good. That means that he's got quite a good reputation. His Meet Me video was lovely, but again, it is that thing about the time and are you present? And like we saw with Marvin, that does not win you this game. So I think that Esteban probably is not going to be the winner of this, but he seems like a really cool dude. And yeah. Shout out Esteban.
Love you, Esteban.
Next up is Gigi. Gigi, same thing, kind of fought her way through, was able to find a solid alliance at the final 9, final 8, and was able to use that to propel herself to the final 2, where she was able to win the season.
Okay, so I didn't get much from Gigi's video about how she won. So can you guys kind of explain? And she said kind of it was close and stuff, so she downplayed it a little bit. But
so and to oversimplify, I think you know how in Survivor they have YX lost type of seasons. This was a YX lost to a certain extent.
Is it a bitter jury? Bitter jury?
I wouldn't call even the jury bitter. I'd say the jury had a reason for preferring Gigi to the other person who was up there, and it went the way it was probably supposed to go. I'd put it that way. From that perspective, that is Gigi is playing of the winners who I see in the game. I think trying to do the math here. The 3 most social winners, I don't know one of their games, so I can't talk to it, but I think the 3 most social winners are all in the same tribe. And I think Gigi is probably relative to the other 2 who I think are really, really, really good at comps. It's no shame being behind Mikey or Rachel in comps. I think that is the challenge for Gigi early game. That if people want to target a winner on her tribe, I think that she would be the one to be targeted, because I think all 3 of them are amazing, amazing social players. And I just think that the other 2 might be able to offer a little more, upside to their tribes in the short term.
So the winners on her tribe,
Mikey
and Rachel and Gigi. Okay, yeah. Mikey, Rachel, Gigi. Okay. Yeah, Gigi girl. I love Gigi just because I think I got really nice energy from her, and I would love to play a game with her. But her video was kind of lacking that confidence. I feel of a winner that's going to be like, no, I'm coming back to do my big one. Like, maybe I wish she would have came in like, people think that I shouldn't have won, or it's debatable or whatever, but bitch, I'm coming to let the record show that, my win is undisputed and why I deserve to win this game and that I can win this game all on my own and stuff like that. Like, I wish I would have got like that energy instead of like, it's 5-4. But she's fabulous. She seems cool as hell. She's not so active so in the chat so far, so I'm not like getting a big read on her personality. But yeah, I don't know. I think again, like maybe out of the winners, there are more competitive people, but I don't know if like will they go with like the more competitive people or will they go with the chiller people? I don't know. I don't know. Because there's some big threats on the winner side. Like Mikey is giving like a huge threat to me. Sorry, I'm skipping ahead. But like, even Rachel, you're saying she's got like this huge reputation. And I see she's already trying to get in there and make her little side things going on. So yeah, maybe Gigi can slip through the cracks. Let's see. Let's see. I gotta go back and watch these people's seasons. My bad, y'all.
Next up is Jacob. Jacob is in season 2. He got 9th. Was doing really well in the pre-merge. Was able to build himself and form a alliance, and then an alliance within that alliance, and then he got taken out during a split tribal.
Why don't my constant refrain is just like, why aren't we voting Jacob Adorno now? He's great at comms.
Why is
He's
that a thing?
lovely. He's great at comms. He's lovely. He's like such a joy to talk to. He's just like Jacob Adorno's amazing. Jacob Adorno's a full package. Jacob Adorno shouldn't be allowed to go far because Jacob Adorno is Jacob Adorno. This is it, folks. Like I've been preaching this for way too long. It's probably getting like borderline creepy, but like how do we allow Jacob Adorno to keep doing it again? It's the constant like we can't keep letting him get away with this. This is the Jacob Adorno experience. He's an amazing player, a great guy. Unless people are really being keen into people like Jacob and the long-term threat he represents, then like great for great for him. I find it very hard to judge him. I think it's just like he's going to be an incredibly volatile state. He gets to start with Mike. That's I think pretty dang good for him. On the other hand, he has to start with Crispy, but I think Crispy will not make waves early game and just kind of let stuff happen. So I hope Jacob Adorno does very well, so I can continue to say, why do we continue to let Jacob Adorno do this? That's my position.
How does he do? Because everything I've like ever played with him, he always goes so fast.
The opposite for me.
Like, everybody's always like, yeah, we gotta take Jacob out. Like it's like this like running joke, and I'm over here like fighting in the streets for Jacob. I really played Minis with him, but like I'm like, no, like let's keep him. Like let's keep him. He's fine. And everybody's like, no, I don't want to play with him. Blah blah blah. And I'm just like, okay, I guess maybe it's like that self-deprecation sense of humor that he's got going on. It's like makes it easy to vote him out, but I've had a different experience. So you say he goes far. So
maybe people are finally taking my advice. IDK. Jacob, not in this game, but Jacob won a game I played with him, and it came on the heels of him finishing second in another game. I think Jacob's a very, very skilled player. I have high opinions of him.
I want him to win this. I think he should win. I love Jacob down. I think he should win. I think he is really nice. I don't like that everybody doesn't want to play with him straight off the bat. It's annoying. Keep Jacob around. He's gonna give you entertainment. He's gonna shower you with compliments. And yeah, like love Jacob down. So yeah, I'm drafting him too. He's my homie. So you go, Jacob. I'm rooting for you, buddy. Hopefully you don't get booed up this round.
Jacob, it's a joke. You're in on the joke at this point, but we're
I
good.
know it's like a running thing. Like even me, who's like an outsider, knows about that shit. So I'm like, what the hell?
Next up is Jared. Jared did really well this season. He was pretty new to the community when he played. Was able to form relationships. But by the final five, his threat level was slowly becoming obvious. And at final four, he was cut right before the finale.
He's cute. I like him a lot. I thought his video was cute. I think I don't know, maybe since it was so long ago, maybe he does have a chance to, make it far. Because who knows his game? Who played with him? What's the other guy's name? Harry Potter?
Jason, Jared, and Lyndon. Seb, correct me if I'm wrong. Played together.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like Jared. I think I don't know. He hasn't been active though in chatting, so I don't know what his vibe is. He said he took some time off. Maybe that'll work to his advantage. People will forget. But yeah, I like Jared. I'm excited to see what he brings. I really don't have anything to say about it though. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, this is more a generality and probably an unfair one. I think like there's some people in season 2 who are well connected, some people in season 3 who are well connected. We don't know her season 5 on is incredibly well connected, except for like the newbies from season 8 who have come in. I think that's a huge detriment. I think of the season 1 people, I would be shocked if Lyndon is not the one who goes the furthest. I think the other two are like in an extremely difficult position just based on a probably a lack of pre-existing relationships, or in some cases pre-existing relationships that might not be that good. I fear for them.
Hold up, LJ, because I came in the game not knowing not one motherfucker in that game, and I won that shit 7-0.
But it wasn't an all returnee season in the same org. Like
I guess that's true. But like, this is the thing that he said. I think it was him who said it. Somebody said it in their video. But they said everybody's a threat in this game, right? So how do you manage your threat level when everybody's a threat? And I think like if that's their rubric for figuring out who to target, then somebody's game who they don't know is not going to be on their radar. So
I hope very fair. I hope you're right.
I see what you're giving, Gary.
IDK. I concede. On to the next JA name from season 1.
Who's that?
All right. Next up is Jason, our very first winner, our first unanimous winner. Jason did really well socially and strategically, and I would even say physically as well. Won his fair share of comps. He was able to not only work with his main alliance that made the final 3 all together, but worked really well with Jared, with Lyndon, with others that made the merge. And Jason was just lucky enough that the 2 people in his alliance were someone who was not well liked and someone who was not active. But that doesn't undermine the fact that Jason fully had control of that game 90% of the time. And he was able to win unanimously. So
Go ahead, Jason, my fellow undisputed
couldn't be
champ.
me. Couldn't be
My
me.
fellow undisputed champ. That's right, Jason, the big dog, not the little one. I love that he's obsessed with Harry Potter, but like I want to see more from his video because he was giving like, yeah, I'm the old timer, the OG, blah blah blah. It's like no, like get in the mix, start Kiki King with these 20-year-olds, with these 30-year-olds. You still got it. You're not like the grandpa out to pasture. You know what I'm saying? Like, get your head in the fucking game, okay? And make sure everybody remembers why you won and like give them a little crash course on how to do this thing, okay? Because you won this shit undisputed. So yeah, I'm hoping that Jason will be active in this game and can make the right relationships. I don't see him like being the type of person that could play with everybody though. Like I could see, I don't know. He gives me the vibe that he's like choosy. Like me, maybe. But anyway.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that he can make an impression on these youngsters and maybe stick around for a while because I want to see him play.
The season one, I've seen every season of Distortion except for season one. So like these are just the people I know the least about, and I'm just gonna go on like loosely. I obviously success is a good thing. I think Jason is one of the people who I could see like, hey, again, being kept around to be taken out later, like as a good fourth or fifth in a majority alliance. If I felt good about a group, Jason is completely the type of person I would want to tack on to that. So, but I think like that's like again, like I really hope all the winners make me look stupid and like all go to the fucking final five together, and then I will actually feel so fucking stupid. But if not, like I do think that there's going to be sufficient worries about about them, and I do think it's going to be difficult for Jason. I'm going to put Jason in like the Al, not the Al. I'm going to put Jason in the late pre-merge to early merge buckets. I think.
Okay, yeah, I'll give it that too.
All right. Next up is Lyndon.
Keaton
Lyndon
playing again. Kidding.
Lyndon, shocker, also played season one. Lyndon was definitely our hero in the duo of the season with Timmy. And the good thing about season one was there never really was a minority or a majority. The game was very fluid in the merge, I feel. And so and it is interesting with Lyndon and Jason being on the cast. They were very close throughout the game as well, trading the idol back and forth all throughout the merge. But Lyndon's name was out. Lyndon tried very hard to get Jared out at the final five, but unfortunately, Lyndon was voted out at the final five. I'm very excited to see Lyndon back. One of our season one reps. I'm excited to see them very much.
What are their strengths? Like, are they particularly good at like comps or social strategy? Like,
being a good kind person who is like a good receptive ear to anyone. At least in my experiences,
yeah.
and I've
there's
never played.
so many, but there's so many. Like, that's what you guys have been saying. Like, everybody's nice, everybody's cute. Like,
No. There's no. Trust me, there's a lot of people coming who I will not.
Okay,
I
okay.
think-
Well,
I think that-
everybody, like, I've been hearing like they're just like the sweetest pie you will ever meet for like everybody. So I'm kind of like, okay, but like,
So the thing about Lyndon is LJ is correct. Lyndon is very nice. Lyndon is amazing to talk to within the game. They are strategic. They are social. Would I say they are the best at comps? No, but they definitely can hold their own.
you don't have to be the best.
Lyndon,
Yeah.
Lyndon was our first ever winner of paperweight. And Lyndon won it well. Lyndon won it while she had COVID.
Endurance, come through.
So-
endurance.
So I know for a fact Lyndon could win a comp if they need to. I would say social strategy.
People love Lyndon already. I've already seen Lyndon's name pop up in a lot of chats. So everybody's excited. They're getting a lot of love on the Facebook page as well. Going off of that, I'm gonna say I could see them making the merge for sure. I could see them actually going deep, I think, in the merge. I think they have the right like vibe in this cast where it's like not too threatening and like just likable enough that they could maybe go to the end. Yeah, I think yeah, Lyndon's great. I mean, I want to see how they play, but yeah. Go Lyndon. Let's see.
Lyndon final five, lock it.
Okay.
I'm extremely bullish on Linden, especially in the context of this game. I think they have the ability to navigate a lot of the big egos on their own tribe and basically like I think like there's a lot of Linden and Esteban like overlap in terms of how they play. And I think Linden's just going to be there more than Esteban and already has better pre existing relationships to go off of in this particular tribe. I couldn't like, I'm extremely, extremely high on Linden's prospects in this game.
And Lyndon already like her alliance, her team members are already being like, oh, sorry, their team members are already being like, yeah, I want to work with them. I got a good vibe, and this is like day 2 or 3. So keep that same energy, Boo, and you will make it far. We have high hopes.
I'm going to try and do 2 Zooms at once right now, but if something breaks, it breaks. JFYI, and if it breaks, I'll be like, but I think I should be good.
All right.
No, I'm good. I'm good. It works.
Next up is Mike. Mike's first ever org was Distortion. They were on the Bronze Tribe with someone that's on this call. I don't even know who though. And so, but unfortunately, when you're new, sometimes what you think is active is not active. And Mike fell in that category of feeling that he was active when he wasn't. And some issues with the challenge that round caused Mike to be voted out second in his season. It's Mike, Mike got second boot in Heatwave, and then he was our only alternate that we needed for timeline. Mike stepped in, and Mike ended up getting the last juror in that season. Mike was very I know you're not gonna believe this when I say this, but I do believe that Mike, for a good portion of the game, was under the radar. I know for Mike that's crazy, but Mike was very under the radar. A lot of people were blaming things that he had a part of on Jackie, on Cam, on Nick, his alliance, and he was able to make it to the final 7, really with some clean hands, or at least not dirty hands. But Mike made one move at Final 7 that ultimately he'll fight me to this day, said didn't doom his game, but it was kind of the final nail in the coffin. Multiple people wanted Mike out at 5, and Mike ended up getting 5th. And so he's here to hopefully get past 5th.
Go ahead.
Take it away, B, please. Take it away. I'm at a veto right now.
Okay, love Mike down, but Mike gives a shifty. Like, I'm sorry, like Mike, I love you, bro, but I don't know, something about him in these games. I just like it just doesn't give like trustworthy. Like, I don't know. Like, maybe from what I played with him, he's very like quiet sometimes. And he's very like, or I don't know. I guess like Mike, I don't know. He has a reputation. I think people know that he's not afraid to like make a move or cause some mess or some drama. But yeah, like he's just very like shifty and sus sometimes. I mean, he's entertaining as fuck. I'm having so much fun reading his prod chats. Oh my God. And I love his personality and stuff. But I don't know. I don't think that this cast is going to be buying what he's selling, like he already said, or drinking his juice or whatever the fuck he said, which ayo. But yeah, I don't know, Mike. I don't know, Mike. I don't see you going far in this game, boo. But I will be happy if you did and proved me wrong and maybe eat my words. And over to you, LJ. If you can.
Okay. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. So, and hopefully I'm muted on this game. I am. Okay. Yeah, no. Mike Jones is one of the most entertaining people, especially like in org terms that I know. Mike Jones also is the one person who I've voted out of the game and blindsided who hasn't really been a little bitch about it. I mean, there's been others, but Mike has been like the best example of someone who's like has a great attitude, is able to roll with punches. Mike has gotten to the point where, like, the way Mike played in the second game, Mike, if Mike did that all the time, I think Mike would be a perennial top 5 or 6. Mike is now playing more fun and more entertaining, and I think it has come somewhat to the expense of they are more clockable. People are able to see they are a little sketchier. I think this is already happening in this game. This is like Mike's great for the VL, like top tier VL, but Mike is also like not necessarily playing optimally, which is fine and great, and I love it. And I'm rooting for him hard. Like, honestly, love the man, rooting for him hard. I just think he's too hot for his own good now. He is larger than life. He started out like, I messaged Seb today. I'm like, because it was a year ago that we played together. I was like, did he morph over a year, or did he just finally like be fully comfortable being himself? And it's more the latter. So like, I absolutely, you know, I adore Mike Jones. He is one of my dearest friends in this community, and I'm praising him so much more than Crispy, so that Crispy gets really mad when Crispy watches this. Yeah, I just think like Mike Jones is a great merge boot candidate, I think, in this game, just because Mike Jones is so hot, and you know that Mike Jones is like willing to swing big and do it up for an all-star game. Love him. The longer he's in the game, the better it'll be for the VL, the better it will be for prod watching. But you know, that just doesn't always, you know, prove to be the best for your longevity.
Cool your jets a little bit, Mike. Cool your jets, bro. We're pulling for you. We love you. Him and Crispy do give me the same vibe. That's so funny that you said that, but go ahead.
All right, next up is Mikey, the winner of season 2, World's End. I love Mikey. Mikey was on prod from season 3 all the way to last season. We've become really close. But basically, Mikey, he was playing a little lower to under the radar, so like not so much inactive, but was very much just coasting through the pre-merge. Mikey, and because of the constant swaps in season 2, Mikey's closest ally got voted out at the last pre-merge tribal, and then it woke Mikey up. Mikey was involved with that 5-person alliance that Jacob was in, and then Mikey was able to use comps while using his social ability with that alliance to really propel themselves to the point where Mikey was able to throw the final immunity because he knew that both of them was going to take him, and was able to win the game. And I'm excited to see how Mikey's game has evolved within the past 2 years.
I should have done that and thrown the last immunity. Okay, I love Mikey. Oh my God, I want to play with Mikey. I want to hang out with Mikey. I want to be Mikey's best friend. His video was everything. Okay, the blue hair, the charisma, the skin, like just the confidence, just like telling a little bit about his game. Like, I love Mikey down, but I'm wondering if he did a little bit too much in the video. Because yeah, that's a threat, I think. I don't know. I personally would want to work with somebody like him. I wonder like exactly what his formula was like when he won, like what was exactly his formula? Like, do you think he like made big moves?
Never receiving a vote the entire game,
Okay.
and setting the winner and setting the record, which I think might have been tied or recently broken for immunities, and in a game where every round you swapped tribes randomly. That is, to me, an amazing combination of everything. Like, and like what kills me is Mikey. Like, during my Distortion interview, I made fun of Mikey because like in his final tribal council, when asked to describe his game in a word, he said safe. This motherfucker balled out, I think, in so many different ways. So, you know, I made fun of them for that, and it wasn't until like talking to more people about season 2 that I fully appreciated just how like all round ridiculously amazing Mikey had to be to have all of those things happen in a game where every round you were starting fresh. Like
And he was
I
winning.
love the season. I love the season 2 twist, and I love that it produced a winner that managed to so fully overcome it every single round,
So he was
either by
winning and
winning or
not
by
getting
being Mikey.
votes. Winning and not getting votes.
Yeah.
That you ate. So yeah. So when I was thinking about, like, I didn't want to draft winners because I felt like the winners are not gonna win again. But if I had to say anybody was gonna win again, given what you just said and off of my first impressions, it's Mikey. I think, like, yeah, I'm loving everything that he's selling. I'm buying all of it. Like, I want to see what is giving. I think he's got the personality. Like you said, he's a comp threat. And yeah, and the social is giving. If you could be winning challenges and not catching votes, like, you better fucking work. Love Mikey down. Yeah. So I'm gonna draft Mikey as well. So now I got 3 out of the 4. Okay, great.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm like with peace and love. I'm not that high on Mikey just because I think like he's that good. I do think Mikey also has a lot of connections in this game that could be used. But Mikey is the
Oh, he got asked.
genuine. Mike, I think Mikey's probably best connections in this game are Nick and Morgan on the other tribe. So unfortunately, but Mikey is the prototypical, I think, the best example of bring to merge to cut in this game. Besides, someone who we'll be discussing shortly, who's also a winner. But like, love Mikey. Just think like they're too hot for their own good. I hope he proves me wrong. I really do. It would be fun.
Wait.
For all winners.
Well, did you hear that? I think I heard someone say Morgan's name. So speaking of, we have our 8th placer from Heatwave. We have Morgan. Morgan obviously was in the pre-swap. Morgan was on a tribe that never lost, and was working with a person that everyone wanted out. And then going into the pre-swap, once again, they were in a tribe that never lost, working with someone that everyone wanted out. And then once that person left, Morgan kicked it into high gear, really put their social to it. And I think their strategic game, whether every move that Morgan attempted was successful or not, Morgan had one of the stronger strategic games in Heatwave, and it took an idol from the core and David to get Morgan out. Yeah, I do think it's funny. Morgan made a comment
What's
in
he
there.
over here dancing about? You got
Because-
Morgan now, bitch?
Yes, he did. And I do think it's funny. Morgan went in their Prache yesterday after the night 1 call, was like, well, at least I know I can't get idled out this season. So, but I'm very excited. Like, this is me being public. Morgan is my winner pick. I think that Morgan, I think there are people in this cast that have too many connections or not enough. And I think Morgan's in that spot where Morgan has just enough connections and has the gameplay and able to get more. And I'm high on Morgan. I think Morgan's gonna do really well, if not win.
I haven't decided whether like there's very limited spots on the LJ subway train. I haven't yet decided. I am very high on Morgan. They're an exceptional player. It took literally 7 days of planning to construct the proper circumstances to get Morgan out. And, that I don't think that, that doesn't happen all the time. Morgan is a very down to earth player when they need to be, and is also just like funny as shit. So people are going to want to be around them. They are also, generally speaking, I would say not necessarily a huge comp beast. I think that can work for or against you in this game, especially I think they will be aligned with it closely with at least one person who is a genuine out and out balls to the wall comp threat. So
Name them.
oh, they're coming up pretty much imminently. So we
Well,
can
name
we
it
can talk
now.
about.
So I can provide.
No, we can do.
Give me-
We can talk about them next. We can talk about this. But no, I like
Oh,
love
Nick,
Morgan.
Nick. Okay.
Love Morgan. Think they'll do very well. I'm on like cuspy whether or not to say final five, lock it in. But like that's the feeling I am getting.
See, I love Morgan too. I loved everything they were giving in their video. I was kind of shocked at eighth. I don't know if like social gets you eighth, but again, I'm a noob in this community. So
I cannot tell you how much effort it took to make sure Morgan went eighth. If Morgan didn't go eighth, Morgan was winning. So
thank
it's
you.
like it was very
Okay,
binary.
all right. So then Morgan did like Morgan like gives me, I don't know, like I would want to play with them. I would want to keep them around. So I could see them being kind of like, you know, again, like there's a lot of those personalities, but out of like those like social personalities is what I'm gonna say. Like I think that Morgan is taking it. Like Morgan is taking it over maybe like a crispy in my mind. Or like Morgan is taking it over maybe even like what I saw from Rachel. I don't know Rachel's game though. So listen, everybody take what I'm saying with a grain of salt because I don't know. I haven't watched you guys' games. I'm new to this, right? I've only joined 2 months ago, but I'm saying what is giving off of the videos and what I'm seeing in the chat now. And again, this is like day 3. So I think Morgan is giving. I really like Morgan. That's another person like between her and Alex again her Alex, I'm sorry, them Alex and Crispy, I think were the other ones that I was like, I don't know which one I want to take out of the people whose games I don't know. But I'm fucking with Morgan. I could see Morgan going past merge, at least merge, definitely. At least merge they're gonna make, I would say. Morgan, you're doing amazing, sweetie.
All right. And I mean this in the nicest way. To complete the trio of Mikey Morgan, we have Nick. And listen, they know they're very close outside of this game. Mikey Morgan and Nick are all very close outside of this game. And dividing 3 people into 2 tribes was really hard. But yeah, Nick got third in Camp Sunny Skies. Nick was definitely the strategic force running through the game. I think there was maybe one round besides the final 3 that Nick was not the person who made the move. But Nick knew what was happening. Nick had the allies. And even when in this case, even when Nick and Mac went from allies to enemies, Nick always knew. That's not true, actually. Final 5 was a little bit of a hiccup for Nick, but they threw Nick and Mac into fire. Nick won. And after a final immunity challenge that we don't talk about,
Why?
it
Oh my
was
God, tell me on the side.
yeah. But after that, I mean, Nick knows what I'm talking about. Nick will see this, and hopefully they'll laugh. Don't hate me.
They will not laugh.
They will not laugh. Yeah, unfortunately, due to that immunity challenge, Nick was cut for third. But Nick did win Player of the Season. I truly believe that like Nick is an amazing player. But when I said with Morgan about how I feel that they have like just the right amount of connections, I think Nick's in the spot where they have too many. And they're gonna have to start putting eggs in baskets real quick. I'm very excited to see Nick play again. Nick's another one like Mikey who had been on prod since season 4. And so this is their first season. Well, they were on 4, 5, and 6. and 7. And yeah, I'm excited to see the play.
So I didn't know that they were a trio because I loved each and every one of them, to be honest. Now it's like all clicking. Every single one of them. I was like, oh my God, I love this person too. But yeah, I feel like Nick though, like you saying what you just said, yeah, you in danger, sweetie. Like they might have you clocked early. I don't know. I mean, well, he's on with Alex. I could see. Do you think him and Alex will work together? I could see that going somewhere. Maybe. No. Is he good at comps?
Nick, this is what I said. Nick is a comp threat. Nick is a consistent comp threat.
Yeah,
Yes.
in their season
When
they
they're
wouldn't-
not throwing it.
in
I
their
wanna get that in
season
there.
in their
Oh, so they'd be
season
eating.
in their season they would not be considered a comp threat, but that's just because Mac was there, who had won like 4 or 5 challenges. I think it was 4. But in any other case, Nick is definitely a strong asset is comps. I think for me, like Nick's really strong with social and comp or strategic in comps, and their social is really good too. It's just a matter of how this cast is going to like really view stuff like that.
You guys are making it hard for me to pick for my
To
draft.
like to piggyback on Seb, I think that the biggest danger for Nick is Nick likes to drive. Nick likes to drive and Nick likes to drive fast. I don't think that is going to be like accepted. I don't think there's going to be a way to like for like one person to kind of steer control and clearly be in control of a game for a considerable amount of time in an all-star season. I think people are too, even if it makes sense to be like, even if it makes more long-term sense to be laying low and going along with it and doing something later, I think people, it's an all-star season. I think people have too much pride to let someone do that. I think if Nick isn't able to let someone else drive, especially early on and for a while, it could be difficult. If Nick does that, then like the sky's the limit. The sky's the limit. But like if Nick tries to take control early, I think that will just be no matter how good it is, it won't be good enough.
And I could low-key see him, like now that I'm looking at who he's on a tribe with, I could see him falling into that position of being the one taking the leadership role, kind of trying to run stuff, because I do think that like most of the people that he's with are gonna play it, more subtly. Damn, but I like Nick too, though. I liked what he was giving in the video too. Like, I don't know. I like what he's giving. Actually, the video was. I like what he was giving in the chat, though. Like, I definitely like what he's giving in the chat. I mean, damn it. This is hard,
No.
guys. This is fucking hard.
Nick's awesome. Nick knows
Nick's
I love
awesome.
them, and
I want to fucking play with them.
it's like trust me. Hey, like this is one thing. Just as a general pet peeve, I hate when like you don't know. There's some people who you don't want to play with. Like you don't want to play with because you haven't played.
Should I have played? No, I shouldn't have played. I'm like I'm the reigning champ. I can't play. I have to pass the
Exactly.
torch. But then I'm like, oh my God, I love everybody on this cast. I want to play with everybody. I'm Al too. Al, I love you. We have a rivalry going on, but I do love you. I want to say that.
You read my mind. You
I
read
do
my
love
mind.
Al. Yeah, I do love Al. Let the record state. I do love Al. They are lovely.
Oh, and are we? Oh, I don't know the alphabet. No, I do know the alphabet. I do know who's
Speaking
coming
of
next.
someone with A and L in their name, it's Rachel. Rachel played season 6. She was doing really good pre-merge. In the same hiccup that Crispy hit at the second vote of the merge, Rachel was also hit and really picked Rachel's game up, formed that alliance with Crispy and Megan. And on top of that, built like, in my opinion, the most dominant duo in Distortion history. Sorry, LJ and Tyler.
No. Agreed.
Rachel and someone we'll talk about later, Trevor. They ultimately like had full control of the game after that vote. To the point where like those two made, and I'll speak on this more with Trevor. These two made like my favorite move probably of all time. And so
Whoa.
the theme or the twist of the season was dark votes. So the vote count wasn't revealed and the winner of the immunity wasn't revealed.
Okay.
And so at final five, Rachel had won immunity, and they had convinced everyone that Trevor had won immunity. And so three people voted Rachel. Those votes did not count. And then they tied the vote to make sure that their target left.
And
as
they were
much as-
trying to get Trevor. They were trying to get Trevor,
No, they were trying to get Rachel.
but like one of them, pretty much.
But like be like Seb could probably explain this round for a while. I'll just say like I knew what was happening, and 10 minutes after it happened, I messaged
You were
Claude and I
playing?
was like, are you guys sure you didn't count the votes wrong? Like, are you sure you didn't get this wrong? That like it blew my
You were
mind the
playing?
steps they did. No, I was watching. I was in pro
Okay.
chat stuff.
Yeah, you
Long-
can
But like
long-
it blew my mind.
Give
It
me
blew
homework.
my mind.
Yeah,
It's-
long story short, they made that move at 5. They basically
5.
recreated that move at 4, confusing the two people left of who won immunity and who didn't. And then at final 3, which I was really shocked, like as the host, like to see Rachel ended up cutting Trevor at the final 3, and then Rachel went on to win the game. I think I'm like very excited to see how Rachel plays this game. For season 2 and season 6 especially, they had such game-changing twist in the season, like the pre-merge. I'm like very excited to see how like a Mikey does without swaps, or how a Rachel does with the votes being revealed. Like,
Wait, are there no swaps in general, or is that what you're telling us?
there's one
Okay.
swap,
Okay.
but compared to Mikey's season where I think
Yeah,
he
yeah.
had 7,
So do people think of Rachel like when they think of Rachel, like do they think like cutthroat, like
I think when I think
people-
Rachel, I think of very social strategic under the radar, because I think for a fact that a lot of people in Andromeda thought that Rachel was quote unquote being carried by Trevor, when in actuality it was very much a partnership. That move at Final Five was Rachel's move. And so like it
so
was
is
very
Trevor gonna want to play with her, or is Trevor like, girl, please?
I'm very interested to see how that turns out, because right now they are on different tribes. So
Mm.
I'm Rachel's the one winner I am considering drafting. It's just that I think so highly of their ability to both camouflage and still have agency at the same time, and they're incredibly well rounded. Rachel, I'm not just saying this because you're hosting me right now, because you're not going to see this till after. But no, I like Rachel is the I think the best game of Distortion I've seen played, because I didn't even know how good it was, and I needed it to be explained to me. Like it was a winning game that was clearly a winning game, and I still needed the better points of it to be explained to me after the fact. I'm flabbergasted at how well she and Trevor navigated that game. And yeah, if like if nobody knew her and Rachel wasn't coming here with the tag of a winner, Rachel's out and out my winner pick. But just the baggage is the only worry. I think she's might have the right mix to overcome it. But again, with Morgan is like a cuspy draft pick for me right now. Love Rachel.
Has she won other orgs?
I don't know. I don't know her life story.
so she
I mean,
won.
I don't know.
she-
You be knowing these people.
She did win a few orgs like early, like when I say early, I mean like 2020. Like, and then it was 2023 when she won Andromeda. So it was a big gap. Like Rachel took a giant break for a while. And then kind of when she was coming back was when Andromeda happened. So
Okay, I'm loving everything Rachel is giving so far. I'm loving her prod chat. Obviously she got Marvin in there, which is like, playing to my heartstrings a little bit because I love Marvin Down. And Marvin always spoke highly about her during our season. He always talked about Rachel, which is great. Because I think she was in his project. But yeah, I'm rooting for her as well. I just am seeing the amount of love and reaction that she's getting on the Facebook. And I'm kind of like, girl, you might get clocked, like early on, and like people might not want to work with you just off of that.
It was that was something that she brought up in her prod chat, and it was slightly an issue during Andromeda, and has been, I'm pretty sure, has been an issue for Rachel in other games.
But she's like loving Chris, which I love because that's my little org brother. And I'm like, yeah, protect Chris. Chris, link up with a bad bitch. It got you to final 3 last time. So do it again. But at the same time, I don't know. Like I want to root for Rachel, but man, everybody needs to chill on the Facebook because y'all gonna make it hot. You know what I'm saying? Let her rock. Um, I don't know. What did she win? What was her vote count at the end?
It should have been like with peace and love. It should have been wider, whatever it was.
It was 7-4.
And she was sat next to who?
Adam V. He played Andromeda and he got second, and then he came back for Timeline, second chances.
Rachel, girl, do your big one. Fight till the end. I see her making jury. Why not? Like I see her making jury. She's already trying. I see her being proactive early on in the game, and that shit does set you up. Like I could say in my season, the relationships that I made early in the game are what ultimately got me the win. I didn't really pivot and things like that. So like if you making game, if you trying like this early and people are feeling comfortable with you and people are coming to you and this is not, stay that course. I mean, bitch, you won too, so you already know the formula. But yeah, I see her being one of the more active players at this stage. And I think that if she keeps up that momentum, she's definitely making at least jury.
Jury guaranteed. Well,
Oh,
I'll make.
no, see?
I need to make
Sure.
some kind of like thing that I'll do. If not, but I don't make one-sided bets anymore because that's how you end up doing silly things in college. But like, yeah, no, Rachel, guaranteed merch.
Rachel, we are both fans. I'm a fan too.
Yeah.
I'm pulling for her too.
All right. Next up is Staten. Staten was the second place finisher in Heatwave. 1/3 of the infamous core.
Second place.
Staten had a very under the radar game, but and cover your LJ. I feel that Staten was the most open to cut the core in order to further his game. Whether he truly believed that or not, that's up to him. But based on other convos, I mean, to the point where like Staten wanted to cut Tyler at Final Four, and it took LJ convincing him not to, and because if Staten cut Tyler at Final Four, there's a chance that LJ doesn't win. There's a chance that Benji might win. It's just it puts the whole timeline in crazy.
What?
Wow,
Okay,
you're really gonna
Elsie,
say
so
that?
you won Heat Wave?
I'm playing. I'm probably playing this game if say that
You
things
won
that I
the
hope
Heat
people
Wave?
things that I hope people know about Staten. Staten is an incredibly loyal player. If you don't like, if you treat the man with respect, he's incredibly fucking loyal. He is comp wise, I think like one of the better people in orgs around, especially physical based comps. I think like I mean the man has I believe it's ex Navy. He's got that. He's also I think able to separate, like, he's able to make tough calls that are good game moves, especially if like if you can make it make sense for him, he's going to kind of make the smart play. He won't get caught up in over emotional things, even when he's like in his even when he's in his feelings. What I'm most worried about with Staten is Twainty. I think he is the least well-connected person in this cast, and I think that matters. I don't think the people that play with Staten are going to be in a hurry to work with him. And I strongly worry for him. I think it's just like a very very rough draw for him. I don't know what he can do about this situation. It's very rough for Staten, and that's just like the way the cookie crumbles. I really hope he proves me wrong. Staten was it for me. So I'm very as I've said before, I fear for him.
You making me scared, LJ, to play any of these fucking games now. You talking about connections and shit, bitch. Okay, so Staten, what I see being a disadvantage is that like age gap, similar to like Jason, where I don't know if he's going to be able to carry or necessarily connect with some of the younger folks. You guys got some young little whippersnappers on this cast, so I just don't know if he's going to have the time or the energy or even like the language. I mean, like what's Jackie saying these days? Demure. Like Satan, I'm gonna be able to connect on that level. I don't know. His video was giving me very like corporate. It was giving me very like, I have a real job and I am a, blue collar guy and stuff like that, which no, he's white collar.
Sorry, blue. No, more blue. Yes, more blue. Sorry, I thought when he said very corporate, I thought you meant more white collar.
No, that's what I meant. But no, I meant like more like serious. Like I meant more like serious, like business, like maybe a little bit less jokey, maybe like all about business. Like I don't know. He was very like a little bit dry, a little bit dry. But you said he got fourth in his season. He got second.
Yeah, he got second.
Oh, wait, hold up. So then he might have ate. But was it like he was doing things to get himself to second, or was it like he got carried?
I think in a prod perspective, I think Staten was seen as being carried by the jury. But I think on a prod perspective, I think Staten had a really good social game with certain players, especially the people in the final six on. And I think that really propelled. I think Staten's big thing, and I hope it isn't the reason for his downfall this season, is that Staten is known from the Heatwave people to be a very emotional player. And
what do you mean?
Like he will put his heart on his sleeve. He will make it known when he's upset, and that's a good thing. But in the game, not so much.
No, when Rachel got booed up, you think I wasn't hurt? But then I let bitches know? Hell no.
The like for any big Heatwave fans here who are watching, which I assume at this point you clearly are, Staten was the key cog in all of the moves that enabled us to be final three. For instance, let's go down memory lane.
You took him?
Tyler took both of us. We all took each other. But so the round Jen goes, Staten is the one who knows that there's a vote split, knows that we could turn the tables if we want, but then we just make enemies out of everyone, so we have to ditch Jen. That is Staten's action that did that. The ball was in his court there. Final six. Staten is the one that made sure that all the votes were on Tyler when we knew we had an idol to be able to bounce Brandon. That's Staten. Those were the two moves that the only times the numbers weren't
who's playing now.
Yes. So that's, I mean, this is part of the bad thing for Staten. I think everyone who's in this game who's played with Staten, I don't think is inclined to work with him. I think he's probably the only person on the cast you can say that of where like it's a near guarantee that the people who played with him won't want to work with him. It's like it's unfortunate. I want to give him his flowers for all the big moves. And David idling out Morgan. That was Staten giving the idol to David because Staten had the best relationship with David. It was actually me giving the idol to David, but Staten was the one who said it came from him. Staten was the key cog for like every big move that happened. I think did not get enough flowers for what he did that game.
Go ahead, Staten. I take back I'm gonna give you your 10s. I thought maybe you got carried, but no, it sounds like you were making the move. So I'm sorry. Again, everybody probably is like dragging me in the comments and shit like that. I'm sorry, y'all. I haven't watched. Like, I'm gonna do my homework for after show. Don't worry. But I just don't see him though, looking at the rest of the cast, like, especially you guys saying like there's tight-knit groups and things like this. Like, I don't see him like inching his way in there. So yeah. Yeah.
I'm just chirping B. I'm just chirping B right now. That's why
you're the OG. You're the OG. I'm the new gen. So I'm the new era. But yeah, okay, I'm gonna go back. But you know what, Staten, I'm gonna give you your 10s. I just don't see it for this cast though, because this cast guy, they got a lot of freaking big ass people up in here. Like, I don't know. You could say better than me, LJ.
So
pre-merge.
I would be like, if Seb was willing to let us peek behind the curtain a little for his winner pick. Seb, do you think this is a very rough setup for Staten or not?
I mean this in the nicest way. I think that most situations, because of the fact that Staten isn't so connected in the community, I think any setup would be difficult for Staten. I hope that Staten can find that, pardon my words, but I hope that Staten can find his LJ, find his person that he feels really connected with, and could start making those moves with that person. Because if he doesn't and can't, it's gonna be really difficult for him to pick up speed. Because if he doesn't have that LJ, then I don't know for certain how he's going to connect with his tribe first. And second, I don't know how he's going to feel in regards to like votes if he doesn't have that person to really bounce ideas off with.
You bitches are scaring the fuck out of me. I'm never gonna play an org again.
Womp womp.
Bitch, I don't know nobody. I'm such a noob.
Well, I mean, we can talk about more, but this is.
We'll talk about this later. Let's just keep it going.
Next up is someone we talked about literally like 5-10 minutes ago. One of the stronger players of not only Andromeda, but just Distortion in general. We had Trevor. Trevor got third. Like mentioned before, Trevor, I feel, had a very strong pre-merge game. Made the connections he did. Trevor had this really good ability of like making things happen in a second. Like, for instance, the Caleb Hahn vote was like 5 to 10 minutes prior to the vote. Where is he getting alcohol?
Yes.
All right. Well,
I have had a whole bottle of rosé nearly on this.
Well, Trevor, like the Caleb Hahn vote, him and Caleb Reynolds basically like came up with that vote and got the numbers in like record time, like 5 to 10 minutes into the like right before the votes. Like it's it was just amazing. Like it's amazing to watch him. Trevor has a really good social game that aids with his strategy. And like mentioned before, he built like pretty much this like dominant duo with Rachel. And literally like maybe like an hour before the final immunity challenge, if you told me like, oh, like Rachel's gonna cut Trevor, I'd be like, that's not happening. Like that's not happening at all. Like these two are like tight knit. Like they've both told them each other they're gonna take each other. And then yeah, unfortunately, Trevor got cut for third. But I do think Trevor is a strong player. But I do feel that Trevor's target in this game is going to be very apparent. And
Whoa, give me context.
just in general, I think that
Like
Rachel,
I think
B,
a lot of people in this
it's
cast.
Rachel. He's gonna get his lick back.
I
Oh,
don't.
like B, you watch Survivor, right?
yeah, of course.
So Malcolm Freeberg, when he comes back, that is Trevor to me. Like that is like
Think
that
of-
is it
What
for
does that
me. Like Malcolm, like someone who's clearly a fan favorite, a golden boy, good at everything. Like
He was giving that.
Trevor and Nick, I think will be working together, and that's the best thing for both of them because they are both of that. So I think they need to be working together because if they're at odds, then like it'll just be kamikaze for both of them.
So who's he coming for? So who Trevor wants out?
Well, Trevor has again because the immunity challenge is happening right now. No one's really been like open
And
about
I'm
who
saying, like you said, there was one person he's gonna.
No, I said that there are people in this cast who know that Trevor usually goes far in not just like Distortion, but like other orgs that Trevor has played as well. He's gone
So
like
he be eating.
he's won a couple games. He's made it far and like he's gotten third a lot. Like that's the thing is like
So
I
he be
think
capping out or like what?
no, like Trevor's just really like he can win a comp. Like Trevor's done it before, but I think like I think that's why Trevor and Rachel were so strong because Trevor was so social, which aided to the strategy,
That's what I
and
was.
Rachel was so strategic, which aided to the social.
That's
And
what
so
I was
they were
gonna
able
ask.
they were able to like really like build these plans. Like Rachel would right like exactly a final five where Rachel comes up with this amazing plan. They bounce off the idea, and like Trevor really is the one that like goes out and speaks to the people about it. While Rachel is like
So for context, can you describe Trevor's personality for me really quickly?
he's very funny. I think the best word I would use is like witty. Like he feels old, but he's also young. Like I feel like it's really hard to describe Trevor. Like I
No,
just
just
think
like go off like, just say it. Just
like he's just a I feel like he's like
giving.
I feel like he's a very friendly like I know you're like not everyone can be friendly, but I feel like I truly do
Everybody's
believe
friendly though, but when everybody's friendly, it's like, what, y'all gonna try to
but
out
like I think Trevor also has this ability of like when moves happen, like he could just be like, hey, like listen, like let's talk this through, like let's work this out. And like people are generally receptive to that. I mean, for instance, like Crispy and Rachel were both blindsided by the move at final 12. And Rachel and Trevor ended up working till final three. And him and Crispy ended up working as far as they could. Like, and that's it. I think Trevor
Also,
is just
Trevor was
really
the
good.
glue. He was the
Ye-
glue.
Yeah, for a, I guess in a sense, not particularly the glue between Rachel and Crispy, but like he did a good job repairing relationships, in my opinion.
Okay. You know
I
what? Because I wasn't gagged at Trevor's video, to be honest. Like the theatrics of it, like the editing part, yes. I wasn't getting much from it. But now that you guys have provided that context, then I do see, okay, yes, he could be a social threat. Um, I don't know though. I just feel like there's so many social threats. I don't know, like where would y'all say he's at?
Trevor is a
What number
top.
would you guess him in the social threat?
in all honesty,
If we're going on a
Trevor,
modern
Jacob
ranking,
Adorno, boom.
if we're going on a if we're going
Everybody says get out first. Yeah, that's who you're ranking. Everybody says get him out first.
I
If
think
that's who you rank,
Jacob has a very strong social game, but we've already passed Jacob. I think that in regards to Trevor's gameplay as a whole, he, as of modern rankings, based on the ones that me and Billy had worked on prior to this season, he was, I think he was fourth or fifth overall. I think that it was, if I remember correctly, the overall rankings was LJ, Karen, B, and then it was Trevor, Rachel, or Rachel, Trevor. I can't remember. And then it's Jason.
Guys.
But that's what I'm saying is I think that Trevor.
Justice for Mikey Ruby.
All right, last but not least, we have Wesley. Wesley got fifth place in World's End. Now, Wesley and Esteban kind of are in the same boat. Wesley and Esteban are kind of in the same boat. I feel like Wesley really was given an advantage with the swaps every round because Wesley is very strong in certain comps, and so Wesley was able to help his tribe. Wesley rarely went to tribal the pre-merge, but like Wesley's merge story is like purely like cinematic in my opinion. Like final 13, he was supposed to be voted out. He played a safety without power, kept himself safe. Like at final, he was able to keep himself safe at final 12, final 11. Final 10, he wins the immunity at the split tribal, meaning that 4 people with advantages can't vote him out. And then moving forward, he was able to make a really strong bond, like with a lot of people, especially Sean Slibin, who I love him. I wish he was on this season. And I like he made really like good connections with these people, like not the biggest connections, but they were small connections enough to like get him past live night when he was on the block against Cam, get him up against Keaton, get him like, and at final 5 that was kind of when they just voted him out. I think Wesley plays a really strong underdog game. I don't know if it's going to translate to this cast. I'm actually really worried for Wesley, but I do love Wesley. I think Wesley's played an amazing game. It's kind of hard to like interpret because on one hand, like Wesley's working really hard on the challenge this first round, so I don't think he'll go first. But I also know that Wesley can tend to rub people the wrong way, and Wesley knows that. So that's why the only reason I feel comfortable saying that. I love Wesley, and there are players that have worked with Wesley, like people like all the season 2 people have played with Wesley. Chris L has played with Wesley. A bunch of other people have played with Wesley. I think that Wesley, if he keeps up with that social game, I think he'll do fine. I cannot predict Wesley's placement at all.
I'm sorry to say this. It's giving me first boo. Wesley,
that I won't agree with because even if his tribe loses, he has done the most work for this challenge.
Okay. Well, that's considering that the work that he's done outweighs the vibe that he's giving.
That's true.
I think that you know what? I always respect somebody who is who they are, unapologetically stands on business, has their own point of view. I love that. But some people can't take that, you know? So
yeah.
Wesley is very, like people can't like it's true. People can't take that sometimes. And I think that that's the trouble that Wesley is finding himself in right now. He's very much like I want to give him his 10s because he's trying, and I also see how he's trying to like eat in the challenge as well. So I want to give Wesley his 10s. But at the same time, is it being received in the way that it's intended to? I don't know. You know what I mean? I think that people might be. I'm not going to talk about that. We're not going to talk about that. Sorry.
Yeah.
Because people are going to watch this back. But Wesley, listen, fucking never change. Okay. Like you're a real person. You speak your mind. You are an individual and you stand on business, and that's my thing to you. But it is giving like first boot, maybe rubbing the wrong way a little bit. Sorry.
I think they will be absolute with all due respect, which is what you say before, saying you're full of shit. I think they're fucking insane if they vote Wesley out first. Wesley is in a like in most org pre-merge type games that I've had, Wesley is one of your most valuable assets. If you have any hero challenge, I take Wesley pretty much. Wesley is playing with Al, which is like Al is one of the few people I would probably put above Wesley in like any random hero challenge, but Wesley is right up there. I don't God, like knock on. I don't think Wesley will be a first boot. He also, know that they're going to tribal first, unless like I'm wrong about something. Who the fuck knows?
Who's giving first then? If not,
To me, first boot is either going to be Esteban or Jason. That would be my pick. But like to focus on Wesley. To focus on Wesley for a second, let me give Wesley. Let me give Wesley more flowers for a second. I played with Wesley. I prod with Wesley. Wesley is going to be a person who, if people are, Wesley will tell you what's on his mind and then do it. Especially if Wesley feels like they don't have a necessary, very, very stable relationship. Wesley is not going to be someone to fade quietly into the night. Wesley will take the shot. And sometimes by saying that, if Wesley says it, then another group that's there will say like, hey, like we can now take the shot, even if it fails, like it's Wesley's fault, but you can pull off moves with Wesley because Wesley is going to be someone who will not back down, especially if they feel cornered at all. I think that's going to be pretty helpful, and I think like I cannot overrate how much if this tribe keeps Nick, Al, Alex, and Wesley around. Like I know they got fucking curb stomped this round, but if they keep those four around, they should win challenges. Like those are behemoths. Those are behemoths in my eyes at least.
Wesley, listen, I rate that you fucking stick to your guns, and I rate that you will go 1,000,000 versus 1. If that's the kind of player you are, then you have my backing and you have my support in this game, because I fucking respect the shit out of that. So yeah, stick around and get everybody pissed off. That would be great. Keep winning.
All right, and with that, we've hit all 20 players of Distortion Survivor
Now,
All-Stars.
Now we're going to rank. I'm kidding. We're not going to rank Prod. We love all of Prod equally, except we definitely love Grace the most.
Amen.
Ooh.
All right. To everyone who's watching, thank you so much for an amazing season. We're going to hope that it was an amazing season.
It was.
It was.
It's gonna be an amazing season.
Woo!
Are you kidding me?
All right. Thank you, LJ and B, for this wonderful experience talking to the players. And just remember, if you have an issue, go to them.
Come at me. Come at me. No, my record on these things is impeccable. Come at me.
Don't come for me if I don't send for you, because
come at me. Don't come for me. Come at me.
Yeah, all right. Thank you so much, everyone who's watching. And I hope that you are sticking with us for the next season of Distortion. I don't know when it's going to be. We'll figure it out.
Love this org.